Another reading from the Science of Mind magazine daily guides. And although you may be seeing this on my personal webpage, it's actually courtesy of Creative Life Spiritual Center in Spring, Texas, from where I just came back. We had a memorial service for one of our very long-time members. He was called Ken Dwight. He was into lots of things. He was a pilot. He was a computer expert. He actually patented, I think, one of the first antivirus programs. He was in Rotary, lots and lots of different things. So he led a very busy life. So we had a memorial service for him, quite a lot of eulogies, and some really good music. So it went down very well. And here we are. But today's reading is actually called Believe as Though You Are, and it really fits in with the talk at our service this morning at 11 o'clock, which was called, which was about mental equivalence. And I'll explain that shortly, mental equivalence. But first of all, I'm going to read you the reading with a few comments from Diane, and then we can see where we go from there. Believe as though you are. First quote is, it says, attributed to Albert Einstein. I like it when they say attributed because, well, maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't, but this is a very well-known quote that is often attributed to him. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is a miracle. I love that. And Ernest Holmes said, believe as though you are, and you will be. Believe as though you are, and you will be. And this is from Dan. She says, in addition to my, quote, mind your mind button, I have a small stone on my altar with the word believe painted on it. She talked about mind your mind yesterday on the button. Such affirmations on your spiritual journey are helpful. They don't necessarily tell us what to do or how to do it. Rather, they're like signposts pointing us toward a beneficial and joyful destination. I believe we're all guided along a life journey that is meant for us. I believe we know the path marked out for our soul. I believe we need courage and bravery at times so that we can walk a unique path. He said, I also believe this. Life wants us to be happy. Life wants us to be fulfilled. Life wants the best for us. Substitute, if you like, God for life, spirit, the all, even substitute quantum field, if you like. Then she says, what do you believe? What leads you forward in a healthy way? What path do you wish to tread? Do you have special mementos or objects that encourage you on your spiritual journey? Take a couple of slow, deep breaths. And then she says, close your eyes for a moment and simply feel your breath as it travels through your body. So let's just do that now. When you open your eyes, ask for guidance on the highest and greatest good in your life. So, what is it? And what I suggest you do is take a few minutes after this reading and just sit quietly somewhere and just do that. Take those couple of deep breaths with your eyes closed. Notice where your breath goes through your nostrils and down, and then how your abdomen expands as you breathe deeply into your abdomen, and then out again. Do that a couple of times, and then just think, what do I need guidance on today? What is for my highest good? And then she says, perhaps write it down. Write out your hopes and dreams. Note the affirmations that support these desires. Now believe it is possible for you to fully live in that vision. And take one or two small action steps in that direction. This was great advice given to me by the late great Bob Proctor, who said that when you've decided what it is you want and you settle down, then you write a couple of action steps that are going to take you there. And it might even be as simple, yes, I'm going to do this affirmation, or I'm going to go look in a newspaper, or I'm going to search through a periodical, I'm going to go on the internet and look. I'm going to talk to people and say, hey, what do you think my life's purpose is. And some people might be shocked, but others will give you guidance. What do you think I'm really good at? Or you can even ask yourself that. What is it that I'm really good at? Write these things down and say, do I want to follow any of those paths or not? And she says, only you can swing open the gate and walk towards the life that's waiting for you. Well, only you can do it. And when she talks about belief, remember, belief is thought plus feeling. That's what belief is. It's thought plus feeling. When you have a thought about what you want and you wrap feeling around it and you just release it, then it goes into the universal subjective mind. And this is where the answers for the things come from. And when Reverend Jesse today was talking about mental equivalence, and he did it because the guy who passed away in December, one of his favorite topics was mental equivalence. And he would always ask Reverend Jesse once or twice a year, hey, please talk about mental equivalence. A mental equivalent is that thought plus feeling in your mind of what it is that you want. In other words, it's the thought in your mind of what you wish to actually produce or become. And a typical mental equivalent will be easy to grasp will be somebody wanting to become a medal winner at the Olympics, and they see themselves there receiving that medal. And then they go back to whatever sport it is they're in, and they produce a mental equivalent of what it's like to actually be winning. So to cross the finishing line, to actually be throwing baskets, whatever it is. Those are mental equivalents. The thoughts plus the feelings. When you wrap the feelings around it, then it becomes a mental equivalent, and that's what you release. And remember one thing: gratitude. Reverend Lisa talked about it in her closing this morning at our service. Gratitude is love. So when you release something with gratitude, you release it with love. I apologize for my voice. I don't know what's going on the last couple of days, but it's a bit worse. But anyway, so maybe you could hope for me, as I hope for myself, the mental equivalent that tomorrow morning my voice is free and clear, because I've got to do some mediations tomorrow and I need my voice. So people ask me to treat. Well, I'm doing the reverse today, and I'm saying, would you please treat for me? Would you please know for me that my throat is cleared up and it's free and clear tomorrow, and I'm talking perfectly freely. So if you do that for me, I will be eternally grateful, and just release that with love into divine mind, and then all will be well. So we've kind of got one affirmation that's split up into three. I believe in miracles. That's going back to Albert Einstein. Yes, I believe looking for miracles in life. I believe in life. I believe life supports me. I believe in a higher power and in a higher purpose for my life. So, but the thing is this: in our teaching, we don't believe in predestiny. We don't believe that, hey, this is what's been mapped out for you. This is what you got to follow. And if you don't follow this, no, we believe more in guidance. Yes, everybody is coming to this world for a specific purpose. And eventually, if you do your spiritual work, you'll find out what that purpose is, and then you'll begin to follow it. But you can't go wrong, providing you're always open to the possibility of something new coming in, providing you're always trusting that you will be guided. Whatever direction you take, you will be guided back to the best thing that you can do. Why? Because there's something, it might be small or it might be mighty, that only you can do. That there's nobody else on this earth qualified to do it. And as I said, it could be tiny, it could be huge, but it can make a big difference in the evolution of the human race and everything that is. So those are my words for today. Reverend Lewis will be here tomorrow about 9:15. I'll be back tomorrow evening. If my mediation finishes on time, I'll be back at 5. If it doesn't, I'll be back whenever I'm back. So please have a great rest of the day. This is Sunday. It's theoretically a day to rest unless you're a minister, and then you don't necessarily rest on a Sunday. But you take another day. You take partial days to rest. So until next time. Oh, I did promise you more of the history of New Thoughts and Science of Mind. It's going to have to be tomorrow, because I don't like to go on for too long. Can't go on for too long today because of my voice. So tomorrow I will tell you the rest of that story with a quick recap from yesterday. So until next time, namaste.